Good afternoon, Honorable Chair. I rise to report that the quorum does exist for the Standing Committee of Free Enterprises, Commence Business.
Thank you, Clerk. It has been reported that the quorum does exist for the Standing Committee of Public Enterprise to commence business. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Please, can someone move the motion for us to adopt the agenda?
Yes, I have an observation on the agenda. Yes, before I move, there is no A or B. I suggest we add the A or B. Let us have A or B onto our meeting. It's not part of the agenda. It's subject number 5. I mean, for the committee.
No, this presentation, we don't put that. So we can have internal discussion. Any seconder?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded we adopt the agenda as it is. Those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those not in favor, please say no. Ayes have it. Thank you so much, honorable members. Before we proceed, can we have an individual introduction as usual? I will start with myself. I am Honorable Lamin Jesane, National Assembly Member for Bukama South, Chairman of the Standing Committee on Public Enterprise.
My name is Honorable Samba Jallo, Member for Yamina Dankuku, and also a member of the committee.
Abdullah Njai from Banjul Central.
Louder, please come back.
Committee. Abdullah Njai, Banjul Central, and a member of this committee.
Good.
Assalamu alaikum, Honorable Almami Jiba, Fonyi Kansala, member of the committee.
Good afternoon, Honorable Salih Bujawa Jokadu, and a member of this committee.
Good afternoon, I am Lamin Sise, member for Kia West constituency and a member of this committee as well.
Good afternoon, I am Fatmata Kiesisa, researcher to the committee.
Good afternoon. My name is Ibrahim Ajao, a clerk to the committee.
Good afternoon. I am Alhaji Omar Tal, subject matter specialist for the PEC committee.
Good afternoon, I am Burang Konja from GPPA.
Good afternoon, I am Awasoso representing GPPA.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, I am Mr. Modis, Auditor General, aide to the committee.
Thank you. Honorable Board Chairperson, the baton is handed to you for you to do the introduction and your team.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. So I would invite our team, starting from my right, to make a round of introductions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Yambo Jata, Acting Director, HR and Admin.
Mamoudou MS Diallo, Acting Director of Finance.
Honorable members, good afternoon. My name is Mamoudou Diouf, Deputy Director General. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Apply C, DG GRTS.
Nene Magdol Gay, Chairperson, Board of Directors, GRTS.
Honorable, please, huh?
Okay, thank you. I'm humbled.
Good afternoon. I am Honorable Musa Bali, retired Member of Parliament for formerly Foni Bondali, and a member of the GRTS Board of Directors.
Good afternoon, Ajipenda Sankare, the auditors, DT Associates.
Good afternoon, Ismail Aseka, External Auditor, DT Associates.
Yes, gentlemen, may you?
Pabukat Sise, Director of Parliamentary Liaison, National Audit Office.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Can we go to the next item? That is the affirmation, administration of affirmation. So the clerk will be coming around, Honorable Board Chair, to administer the affirmation to you, especially those who want to do the presentations. Today is only meant for presentation, please. Honorable Board Chair, today is only meant for presentation of the report that are submitted to us. We'll do it after the presentation. We'll invite you for consideration, where we'll go through it to critics it, so that we can have a fruitful engagement with you in terms of question and answer session, to clear certain things that we are not very much clear with. So he will be coming to administer that oath. So in the process, we want it to be like this. You start with the activity report. If you have a summary version, I think that will help a lot. But if that is not available, you can do it and do it in a summary format. From there, we go to the management letter, the financial statement. From the financial statement, we go to management letter. With the management letter, we are only going to highlight high-risk areas in terms of ranking. I think only that we need. So he will be coming around. You can identify who are going to, starting with you as the board chair, because you are the interface. Our point of contact is with the chairperson. Then probably the MD, the finance officer, who is going to be responsible to take care of finances.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the people who will be taking part in the discussion, we will do together. Just repeat after me and you mention your names. Yeah, the name, the chair, and the DG, and the auditors. Yes. So you can just repeat after me and you mention your names. Okay. Just stand up.
All of us.
Yes. You repeat after me and you mention the ones that are taking part for today. Yes. Yeah. You repeat after me and you mention your names.
Okay.
I
see.
do hereby affirm that
Do hereby affirm
I will speak the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth. Help me Allah. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for Honorable Board Chair. Thank you so much for the compliance, and you have to be used to this because this is a parliamentary procedure. That is why in any of the things we have to take all the necessary procedures that need to be taken. And we really appreciate for the compliance. And secondly, I want to seize this opportunity to thank you for the commitment you've taken. Last engagement, you appeared before us without this report. And we agreed on a date that you were able to submit on time. We really appreciate. And going forward, we would like to emphasize for that to continue. Anytime it's due for reporting, we don't want GRTS to be left behind. So we want you to be understanding in our dimension. Secondly, I just want to inform you, this is not a witch hunting exercise. We are partners in development, and we cannot function without you. And it's by design, GRTS is on our purview in terms of reporting, on our oversight that we are doing on behalf of the Parliament. That is why after all the engagement, a report is generated that is always presented to the plenary for possible adoption. So if we adopt it, the recommendations and resolutions will come in. So thank you so much. Your 2021 report is ready and is before us. So if you are ready, you can take us through, starting with the activity report, then financial statement and management data. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson of the Public Enterprise Committee, other honorable members, subject specialists, auditors, and management of GRTS. The Board of Directors and management of GRTS have the honor to present our corporate activity report and audited accounts to the Public Enterprise Committee of the National Assembly for the year ending 31st December 2021. This occasion marks the 12th edition of such a presentation that began in October 2009. We have, with considerable effort, continued over the year under review to make headway in some critical areas of operation and in formulating strategies on the way forward. In 2021, at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, GRTS was able to inform and educate the public on the necessary safety measures to keep COVID-19 at bay. Honorable Chair, financial constraints continue to hinder the realization of our aspirations for 100% countrywide coverage of the radio and television. In response to this challenge, in June 2021, management, using the institution's own resources, put GRTS TV back on satellite transmission after a long absence. This has enabled Gambians, both home and abroad, to view GRTS wherever they are and keep abreast with developments at home. Honorable Chair, the satellite fees are very expensive. The board and management would want to appeal to this esteemed committee to look into options in relieving GRTS of this burden. Another challenge for GRTS is the need to modernize and graduate from the use of obsolete analog equipment to a digital system. GRTS requires a total overhaul of its broadcasting infrastructure. Despite these challenges, the board, management, and staff of GRTS remain resolutely committed to the delivery of its mandate as enshrined in the GRTS Act 2004. We wish to express our profound gratitude to the Cabinet, particularly the then Ministry of Information and Communication Infrastructure, the Ministry of Finance, as well as the National Assembly for the timely supplementary appropriation bill of $36 million grant that enhance our capabilities in fulfilling our mandate during the 2021 presidential elections and beyond. Another challenge is the archiving of our materials, both TV and radio. The archives are currently stocked with volumes of cultural and historical materials of several thousand hours that date back to over 3 decades and need to be converted into digital format. Regarding capacity building, management has engaged relevant stakeholders, both national and international, in providing training for our staff. On behalf of the Board of Directors, management, and staff of GRTS, I thank you for your support during the year under review 2021, and I do thank you for your kind attention. And on that, okay, on that note, Honorable Chair, I would like to hand over to our Director General to make a brief presentation on the activity report for the year ending 31st December 2021.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Honorable Chair, honorable members, subject matter specialists, colleagues, management of GRTS, the Board of Directors here present. Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. I would just like to summarize the activity report into the main areas of activity carried on under the year under review. 2021 was a difficult year. It was during the time of the COVID-19 pandemic. That being the case, GRTS, as the public broadcaster, worked with the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, and many other stakeholders to bring in programs that are geared towards informing and educating the public on measures to be taken to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Is it on now?
Yes.
Yes, to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many health programs were held on GRTS, more so in the national languages, so that everyone can listen and understand. So that everyone can understand. This was very important, considering the fact that the COVID-19 pandemic was a very serious health concern to the whole world, and GRTS played its part in that area. The other major activity that GRTS undertook was the creation of a News and Current Affairs Department. That is not to say there was none, there was a News and Current Affairs unit under the Department of Programs. But the importance we attach to the timely production of news and relate information to the public necessitate the fact for us to make the News and Current Affairs Department a stand-alone unit or department, fully resourced with manpower and the resources to do the job rightly. That was a major undertaking in 2021. The other one was the 2021 presidential elections. As you know, that year was a very difficult year politically because it was a year of elections. As you know, elections are very difficult when it comes to GRTS for the fact that we are mandated to cover all the political parties, and you need resources to do that. And I'm happy to announce that we did well, judging by the information and the reaction and the assessment done by the Commonwealth of Nations representatives here, ECOWAS, the EU, and all the others formally acknowledge GRTS' impartial stance in covering all the political parties, giving them fair airtime to do their campaign. That is rarely seen in Africa. Usually, during elections, public broadcasters are accused of not being neutral. For GRT's case, that wasn't the case. The election observers confirmed that we played our role the way we should have been. But that would not have been possible without you, the honorable members sitting here, by extension the members of parliament, because you approved or endorsed the 36 million that was given to us as the supplementary appropriation bill. For that, we thank you and we remain grateful to you. You and the government of the Gambia, we did very well. The money came at the right time. Without it, probably we would not have done our job the way we did. Thank you very much for that. The other thing that was very important in the life of GRTS in 2021 was us coming back to satellite. For 2 or 3 years, I think, GRTS has been absent on satellite, and that being the case, many people were unable to view the television. We do programs, we go outside, people say, GRTS, you people, nobody watches you. We said, no, this can't continue, we have to take something, we have to take measures and actions, and we put in our resources, put ourselves back on satellite. As Madam Chair said, it is a very expensive endeavor, and we encourage honorable members to continue to explore options to help GRTS to look at other options that would relieve us of this burden. It's a very, very, very challenging, but it is needful in this day of digitalization. If you are not on satellite and you are not digital, it will be difficult for you to fulfill your mandate as a broadcaster. So we did very well on that aspect. So GRTS, as the public broadcaster of the Gambia, will continue to do all that it can, despite the challenges, to respond to the needs of this country when it comes to information dissemination. There are challenges, but as we say, challenges do not stop us from doing what we should do. They encourage us to look at other options. Madam Chair indicated in the report, our archiving system is obsolete. We have tapes that are very relevant to the cultural and political history of this country, but they are not digitalized. We need to look at that aspect, because people without a culture are not a sovereign people, and we are a sovereign people. We should safeguard our culture and anything that is important to our history. On that note, I thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, that's so much. We should can we move to the financial statement? And Director, you can refer us to the page in which
you can turn on to page 9.
Are you all there?
Good afternoon, Chairperson of the committee, members of this committee, subject matter specialists, the board chair and members of GRTS board, the Director General and senior management of GRTS, and other agencies present here. I hereby present to you the financial statement for the year ended 2021. On page 9, we have the income statement for the year ended 31st December 2021. Income, turnover In 2021, 151,994,635. And in 2020, it was 139,144,713. Grant received in 2021, it was 835,332, and in 2020 there was none. Capital grant amortized for the year 2021, it was 9,815,499, and in 2020 it was 9,340,875. Total income for the year ended 31st December 2021, it was 162,645,466. And in 2020, the total income for the year was 148,485,588. Expenditure. Administrative cost for the year 2021, it was 121,309,047, and in 2020 it was 108,636,975. Other operating expenses for the year 2021, it was 5,830,513, and in 2020 it was 3,850,741. Depreciation for the year ended 31st December 2021, it was 16,563,096, and in 2020 it was 14,717,847. Impairment for the year ended 2021, it was 27,293,195, and in 2020 there was no provision. Total expenditure for the year ended 31st December 2021 was 170,995,851, and in 2021 it was 127,205,563. Loss before taxation for the year 2021 was 8,350,385, and in 2021 minus loss for the loss before taxation for the year ended 31st December 2021, it's minus 8,350,385, and in 2020 it was a profit of 21,280,025. Taxation for the charge for the year 2021 was minus 1,626,455, and in 2021 it was minus 1,484,856. Net loss for the year ended 31st December 2021 was minus 9,976,840, and in 2020 it was a profit of 19,795,169. Please refer to page 10 for the balance sheet. Balance sheet as at 31st December 2021. Assets, non-current assets. Property, plant and equipment. For the year 2021, it was 169,843,093. And in 2020, it was 142,199,342. Current assets, trade and debtors. In 2021, it was 32,447,684. And in 2020, it was 50,456,744. Cash at bank and in hand. In 2021, it was 1,850,035. And in 2020, it was 3,499,801. Staff loans. For the year 2021, it was 10,266,827. And in 2020, it was 8,684,595. Stock of fuel coupons. In 2021, it was 86,800. And in 2020, it was 47,400. Other current assets. As at 31st December 2021, it was 218,153. And in 2020, it was 2,427,793. Total current asset was, as at 31st December 2021, 44,869,499. And in 2021, it was 65,116,333. Total asset for the year ended 31st December 2021 was 214,712,592. And in 2020, it was 207,315,675. Equity and liabilities. Equity. Capital grant as at 31st December 2021, it was 106,394,160. And in 2020, it was 80,209,659. Accumulated fund for the year ended 31st December 2021 was 62,235,538. And in 2020, it was 72,214,376. Total equity for the year ended 31st December 2021 was 168,631,698. And in 2020, it was 52,424,035. Non-current liabilities. Loan. In 2021, it was 13,820,257. And in 2020, it was 16,865,251. Current liabilities. Trade payables. In 2021, 2021, it was 12,845,727. And in 2020, it was 11,436,096. Other payables in 2021, it was 13,202,064. And in 2021, it was 15,694,672. Taxation, as at 31st December 2021, it was 6,212,846. And in 2020, it was 10,895,621. Total current liabilities, as at 31st December 2021, stood at 32,260,637, and in 2021 it was 38,026,389. Therefore, the total reserves and liability equal to $214,712,592. And in 2020, it was $207,315,675. May I refer you to page 11 for the statement of changes in equity. Statement of changes in equity for the year ended 31st December 2021. As at 1st January 2020, it was 54,845,267. And profit for the year in 2020 was 19,795,162. Prior year adjustment 69, 19,795,169. Prior year adjustment in the year 2020 was minus 2,426,058. And the total stood as at 31st December 2020 was 72,214,378. As at 1st January 2021, it was 72,214,378. And the loss for the year 2021 was minus 9,976,840. And as at 31st December 2021, it stood at 62,237,538. May I invite you to page 12 for the statement of cash flow. For the statement of cash flow for the year ended 31st December 2021, operating activities.
If you can skip the issue, I think it's okay. We can move to the external auditors.
I therefore invite the auditors to do that.
The audit team here, I want you to take us through first with the opinion. From the opinion, we go to the management. Those that are rated high in terms of risk, those are the only ones we mention. From there, the management will also respond. They will be managing after you will take it to the we can start with the opinion, the audit opinion.
Thank you. Good afternoon to you, Chair of this committee, honorable members, Chair of GRTS Board, Directors and Management of GRTS, Subject Matter Specialists. May I please refer you to page 6 of the financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2021, the report of the independent auditors, please. Page 6.
Everybody have page 6 of the...
Yeah, it's okay, sorry.
Mr. Chair, with your permission, I will read the summarized version of the report, and from there we'll look at the management letter with my colleague Ismail Aseka. If I'm tired, I'll hand over to him to help me read it. So, report of the independent auditors. To the members of Gambia Radio and Television Services.
Can you get
Page
my
6.
closer to you? Page 6.
Can I proceed?
Yeah, correct.
Report of the independent auditors. To the members of Gambia Radio and Television Services. Opinion. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of Gambia Radio and Television Services for the year ended 31st December 2021, which comprise of the income statement, balance sheet, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flows for the year then ended, and notes to the financial statements, including a summary of significant accounting policies. In our opinion, the financial position of the corporation gives a true and fair view of the financial position as of 31st December 2021 and its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and GRTS Act 2004. And this opinion is signed on page 8 of the report by DT Associates, Chartered Accountants, Registered Auditors, and Independent Sankara Partner, dated 22nd of February 2024. So we can move on to the management letter. Please. As you stated, we focus on only those that are rated high risk. The first one is on page 5 of the management letter. Point 2.2, the Observation GRTS Act 2004. From our review of the Corporations Act, we noted that there are no provisions within the Act addressing the administrative and financial provisions of the corporation. Implication, the absence of administrative and financial provisions within the Act results in inconsistencies and operational inefficiencies and inaccuracies in financial reporting. A recommendation, management should update the Act that will be responsive to changing operational environments and incorporate comprehensive administrative and financial provisions. The significance is high.
I think it's high.
The management response. Actually, your observation is well noted. Management will engage the Board of Directors to review the Act and incorporate all the relevant provisions as recommended. Responsibility, the Board of Directors, and the timeline within the next 2 years.
Next point is on page 6, 2.3, in efficiency of internal audit. From the review of the approved internal audit work plan, we noted that less than 50% of the scheduled activities were effectively carried out during the year under review. Implication, if significant portions of the scheduled annual work plan were not completed as planned, existing control weaknesses may not be reported to management on time. The above observations implied inadequate capacity within the internal audit department. Recommendation, management should enhance the capacity of the internal audit to ensure effective performance of the department.
Management response. In context to the control issues highlighted regarding inefficiency of internal control, internal audit, we wish to clarify that internal audit have completed 6 activities in the year under review and not 4. Also, we have in our approved work plan 8 review activities lined up for the year under review and not 10. The 8 review activities in the work plan for the year under review are as follows: clothing allowance review, adverts review, vehicle and fuel allowance review, stores management system review, staff audit, fixed assets physical verification, payment voucher post review, and debtors review. Out of the 8 activities on the work plan, we completed 6 activities, namely clothing allowance review, adverts review, vehicle and fuel allowance review, stores management system review, payment voucher post audit review, and debtors review. All these reviews have reports prepared in respect of the audit reports attached. The activities completed represent 75% of the work plan. However, 2 activities, adverts review and payment voucher post audit review, were completed and inadvertently not highlighted in the activity report for the year under review. The 2 review activities have reports prepared which were submitted for your review. In addition to the review activities, internal audit did also conduct pre-audit such as vetting of payment vouchers, vetting payroll, observing and vetting fuel disbursement, bank deposits, and receipts verification, vetting and observing medical refunds. Management will continue to enhance the department's capacity in order for it to meet up to its annual work plan. Responsibility Director General, timeline within the year 2024.
2.4, lack of bank reconciliation. The preparation of monthly bank reconciliations is a key control mechanism for cash and bank. However, we are concerned that the corporation did not perform bank reconciliations for the following bank accounts: Access Bank, Zenith Bank, Reliance Financial Services, and EcoBank USD. Implication: lack of bank reconciliations indicates a weakness in the corporation's internal control, which could result in errors, mispostings, or even fraud going undetected. Recommendation: management should ensure periodic reconciliations are performed for all the corporation's bank accounts. Significance high.
Please, management response. Please note that these are dormant accounts of which we have requested foreclosures and evidence of which we are provided upon your request during our exit meeting. However, we will continue to make follow-up on the closure of the remaining accounts. Please find attached the reconciliation of the Reliance and EcoBank dollar account for your review. Responsibility Director of Finance and timeline immediately.
2.5 on page 8, absence of senior management meetings. We were informed by management that monthly senior management meetings are held to discuss general issues affecting the daily operations of the corporation. However, we noted that no meetings were held for the following months: January, April, May, June, August, and October. The lack of regular senior management meetings could have an impact on the corporation's operations, as important decisions may be missed or delayed due to irregular or infrequent meetings during the year. Key decisions affecting the institution may be taken solely by individuals without consultation with other key management members. Recommendation: management should ensure that regular meetings are held and that meeting minutes are documented, filed, and readily available for review upon request.
Management response. Management will endeavor to meet regularly in order to discuss issues affecting the institution. Responsibility Director of HR and Administration. Timeline with immediate effect.
Next.
3.1, fixed assets. During our audit of fixed assets, we noted the total net book value of assets amounting to 1.2 million did not accurately reflect the true value of the detailed assets below due to their deteriorated or non-functional condition. Management did not recognize impairment on the assets. These are detailed in the table below. Implication: the total amount recorded for fixed assets is overstated, as it did not reflect the current value of the corporation's total assets. Recommendation, management should conduct a comprehensive review and assessment of the fixed assets and ensure that their current condition and status are accurately reflected in the financial statement. Impairment should be recognized on assets that are not in use or where the values have diminished. Significance high.
Management response. We have taken note of your observation. Management is currently working on a comprehensive review of the assets and their status in consultation with the engineering department. Currently, 75% provision is made on the identified assets. Responsibility, Director of Finance, timeline, immediate.
Okay. Referring to page 10, 3.2, DGL receivable. During our audit, we noted a balance of 6,393,259 recorded as receivable to GRTS by Digital Gambia Limited, DGL. Management claimed that these expenses were incurred by GRTS on behalf of DGL for setting up its digital terrestrial transmission operation. However, there was no relevant contractual evidence to support or confirm the expenses related to this balance as receivable to GRTS. Furthermore, there was no commitment from DGL to settle this balance due. We also noted that this balance has increased significantly from 1.9 million in 2020 to 6.3 million in 2021, and the likelihood of recovery is very slim. Implication: the existence of the receivable balance cannot be ascertained, and the total value of receivable and assets reported in the financial statements is overstated. Furthermore, there is a high chance that the receivable balance may not be recovered due to the absence of appropriate contractual supporting evidence or commitment, leaving the corporation with no legal basis to claim this balance. Recommendation: we recommended that management should engage and develop a contractual agreement with DGL. There should be commitment and timeline to settle the amount involved. GRTS should consider to recognize impairment of the amount to ensure accurate representation of assets reported in the financial statements. Significance high.
Management response. This is the amount incurred as operational expenses in setting up Digital Gambia Limited from 2019. However, the MOU between DGL and SCAF Telecom, that is the technical partner for the DTT, was terminated, and the future of DGL is uncertain. As a result, recovering the amount from DGL is uncertain. Hence, 100% impairment provision. The board and management are aware of this issue and is working to ensure that there is an MOU between GRTS and DGL to specify the relationship between the parties. Responsibility, the board of directors. Timeline, immediate.
3.3 on page 11. Cash and bank. As part of our audit procedures, we sent bank confirmation to the corporation's banks. However, we have not yet received confirmation replies for the following banks: Reliance Financial Services, Trust Bank Limited, EcoBank, Access Bank, and Zenith Bank. Implication: the absence of bank confirmation replies limits our audit work and makes it difficult to ascertain the existence, valuation, and completeness of the bank balance. Recommendation: management should do a follow-up with the bank and provide us with confirmation replies for our review. Significance high.
Management response. Your observation is noted, and we will make follow-up and provide you with the confirmation replies for your review. Responsibility, Director of Finance, and timeline immediately.
3.4 on page 12. Lack of impairment and provisioning policy. During our audit, we noted that the receivable balances listed below have been outstanding for a long period of time. Yet, impairment has not been recognized on these balances. Additionally, we noted that the corporation does not have a formal provisioning policy in place. This includes Gamtel Company Limited, Antenna Italy, with the amount highlighted. Implication: the failure to recognize impairment on these balances results in overstatement of the receivable and asset balance reported in the financial statements. Without a formal impairment policy, there might be instances in accounting for impaired receivables or impairment may not be recognized at all, as noted above. Recommendation: Management should establish a formal provisioning policy to address outstanding receivables. Additionally, the corporation should conduct a thorough assessment of its receivables to identify any impaired balances and recognize them accordingly in the financial statements. Full impairment should be recognized on the above listed receivables in order to reflect the true value of the assets reported in the financial statements. Significance high.
Management response. Your observation is noted. Management will ensure that its financial and accounting policy will be reviewed and incorporate all necessary policy and provisioning. The management will also conduct a thorough assessment of its receivables, balances, and any impairment balances will be recognized accordingly. Responsibility Director of Finance and timeline immediately.
3.5 Share capital on page 13. Share capital represents a fundamental component of a company's financial structure and is pivotal for stakeholders in assessing ownership and equity interests. Proper disclosure of share capital is essential for stakeholders to understand the ownership structure and the corporation's ability to mobilize resources through equity. During our review of the corporation's financial statements, we noted the corporation did not disclose any information regarding the share capital on the face of the financial statements. Implication: the absence of this critical information raises concerns about the transparency of the corporation, potentially leading to misunderstandings about its ownership structure. This omission could affect users' ability to accurately assess the corporation's financial position and make informed decisions. Recommendation: we recommended that management should promptly rectify the omission of share capital from the financial statements and ensure that all required disclosures, including share capital information, are accurately presented in compliance with relevant accounting standards. Significance high.
Management response. Your observation is noted. GRTS was established by National Assembly in 2004. However, to establish the share capital at this material time is going to be difficult. Part of the initial startup cost is lumped in the accumulated funds, and we have to go back to records to establish the startup. We shall work towards such in the preparation of the 2022 accounts. Responsibility Director of Finance and timeline immediately.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much.
Then there's another one. Okay. Page 14.
That's the audit. It's just a list of the audit adjustments that have been made after the audit for the records. It's not an observation. Just to help management track the audit adjustments.
I'm not getting you,
It's not.
Page 14.
Okay.
Page 14.
Audit adjustment. Are we there?
Yes, yes.
4.1 Audit adjustments. On page 14. The below are audit adjustments proposed due to misstatements under impairment on receivables.
Okay. Honorable, I think before we concluded, this was sent to management for them to accept, and it happened at the very last minute for them to accept. So it's not as if it's an observation. It was for management to take note of the audit adjustments to be posted before we finalize the financial statements.
Okay, noted.
Yes.
Let's just go to prior year on resource issues. That are not implemented.
All right.
Only
That are not
those that are
implemented.
implemented.
Yeah.
I refer you to page 15, 5.2, absence of risk management framework and department. The corporation does not have a business risk management framework and a risk management department relevant to financial reporting and its business operations. Recommendation: management should ensure that a documented business risk manual is available to guide and strengthen the corporation's internal control. Status of implementation remains not implemented.
Yes.
Management response. Your observation is noted. Management will engage the board in this matter for possible solution in strengthening the corporation's internal control.
(6.1) Sell side charges on page 20. Page 20. Yes. 6.1 Sell side charges. During the period under review, we noted the corporation generated an amount of 1.1 million from sell side rentals to other telecom companies. Upon our review on the invoices against the approved charges, we noted that the corporation has been charging the same rental amount to the other telecom companies since 2009, making it almost 10 years as of 31st December 2019. Management recommendation: management should assess the sell side rental charges in consultation with the board with a view to increase the rental charges for a more favorable return to the corporation. Status of implementation not implemented.
Management response. Your observation is fully noted. Management will review the tariff in consultation with the board of directors with the view to increasing it.
Refer you to page 23, 6.3. Page 23. (6.3) Property, plant and equipment. A review was conducted on the safeguarding of key fixed assets of the corporation, such as building and the TV and radio equipment. We noted there was no insurance coverage on the following assets categories, that is building and TV and radio equipment. Their net book value stood as of 31st December 2019, 24,693,139, and for TV and radio equipment it stood at 98,986,923. Recommendation: insurance coverage should be assessed and effected by management on key assets of the corporation in order to minimize the risk of high financial losses in the event of an unforeseen circumstance. Status of implementation not implemented.
Management response. Ensuring the GRTS buildings and equipment remains the topmost priority of management in view of the highly sensitive and extremely valuable materials housed in these buildings. As a result, a team has been constituted to work on the documentation needed by the insurers to be able to insure the buildings and equipment accordingly.
Refer you to page 25.6.5.
Yes.
Donation from State of Qatar. We noted from the senior management minutes that there was a donation of state of the art TV equipment worth over $200,000 from the State of Qatar. Upon our review on the financial statements, we noted the material value of this donation was not recorded in the financial statements of GRTS as of 31st of December 2019. Upon inquiry on the reason for not capturing, management confirmed that due to it being obsolete items, the donation was not captured. We would have then expected GRTS board to approve the non-recognition of the items due to being obsolete, but there was no board approval from the board. Recommendation: management should ensure the board approves the non-recognition of this donation, which is filed for future referencing and verification. The status of implementation is not implemented.
Your observation is fully noted, and a recommendation for approval has been submitted to the board of directors. Please note that these equipments are all analog and are outdated.
Refer you to 6.7 on page 27. Information technology. Upon our review on the IT systems and management aspect of the corporation, We requested for the IT policy and procedure manual, but it was not provided for our review. We recommend that management should look into developing the IT policy and procedure manual for the corporation, which will further improve on the overall efficiency on safeguarding of IT assets and the safeguarding of information within the IT system of the corporation. The status of implementation is not implemented.
Management response, your observation is fully noted and management is working on the development of IT policy and procedure manual.
Next.
Referring to page 28.6.8. Non-moving of receivables. During our review on the total receivables from the television and radio, we noted an amount of 1.6 million, which has not moved over 12 months. Furthermore, based on our audit sample, we noted there was no correspondence in file to show evidence of follow-ups by GRTS with regard to the following non-moving balances. We further reviewed the accounting policies with regard to receivables, and we noted that the corporation doesn't have a provisioning policy with regard to receivables in line with good accounting practice. Recommendation. We recommend that management should look into these non-moving balances and for accounts in which recoverability is doubtful. A 100% provision or write-off should be raised to ensure the total receivable balance is not misstated. Management should further pursue the non-moving debtor accounts and correspondences documented for future references so to evidence that action is being taken by management. Management should assess and implement a receivable or debtor provisioning policy to ensure consistency in applying provisioning on receivables. Status of implementation not implemented.
Management response. We have noted your concern. A thorough review of the non-moving receivables have been done and a recommendation for the provision and write-up of have been forwarded to the board for review and appropriate action. A policy on provisioning and writing up is also under review for approval. Notwithstanding, efforts have been made in trying to recover some of this debt.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. That was all from our end.
Welcome from the external auditor. Thank you so much for reporting. Honorable Chairperson, this has brought us to the tail end of the engagement with you today. Since it's only meant for presentation, if you have a word, you can come on board before the quality day.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. Together with other honorable members of this committee, we will ensure that all of this that we have observed right now, probably before we even come for consideration, we'll start working on them. We thank you for your time and for the work you're doing in the development of this nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I think that is very important information that we are privy to before the consideration. For your information, you are expected to appear on the 7th of May, 2024 by 10 a.m. prompt for consideration, 7th of May. So we want to thank you for complying and also coming on board, particularly when we talk about the issue of the reporting line, which we've agreed on a date and you fulfill. Going forward, I think this will be a trend, and we are partners, and we expect this thing will help us a lot in trying to make this institution to come on board. On that note, I want to wish you a safe journey back home or to your respective destinations. Can someone move a motion for us to adjourn till tomorrow? Any second? Any second?
Seconded.
It has been moved and seconded for us to adjourn till tomorrow. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say aye. Ayes have it. Thank you so much. Honorable Board Chairperson, you are now good to go now.